Who am I, that the Lord of all that earth would care to know my name? This is the question we are here to solve today on this edition of Uncivil Law. Very exciting. We are here with a statistically significant, so the authors claim, which character are you personality test. We're doing this BuzzFeed style, but with scientific rigor. Very exciting. So we're going to give this a go and see how this works out, I suppose. Why not? Could be fun. The statistically significant, apparently, which character are you personality quiz. Good times. This is an interactive personality quiz that will determine your similarity with a long list of fictional characters. When the creator of this website would tell people that he published personality tests on the internet, people would usually ask him if he meant that he worked for BuzzFeed on the which character are you personality quizzes. And he'd have to explain that he did not and never been very interested in that style test. These quizzes are fun, as evidenced by their extreme popularity, but they're not that meaningful. Two people who get the same results on a typical example of these do not necessarily have much more in common than two randomly paired individuals. So for the longest time, this website had not one character match personality quiz, but I guess it was inevitable, because here is an attempt to make a slightly more scientific, yet still silly, which character are you test. Great. I'm totally on board for this. This test was created by getting volunteers to rate the perceived personality of a variety of characters, currently 510. Good times. A user's self-ratings are compared against these profiles and closest matches found. The documentation on how this course works can be found here. So yes, I will give you a link in the chat. So if you're inclined to follow along, you can. But no posting your results before I post mine. Don't, because I'll ban you, and I don't want to ban you. So you can do the test along with me, but you can't post your results before I get to the end. Okay? I'm serious. Don't do it. Let's find out if you're going to stick to that or not. All right, so this test is made with a pair of adjectives with a slider bar. For each pair, you must indicate dragging slider. So it sounds suspiciously like I'm doing a big 5 personality inventory, right? So I'm going to have two things. I'm going to have to select below between. I'm doing a whole bunch of these things to get a big 5 personality score. So I've done a big 5 personality score quite a few times. So it'll be interesting to see how this, which is presumably big 5 personality, is also going to do. This will be an interesting test. The recommended version takes most people less than 2 minutes. Well, the recommended version has only 28 questions. It has only 28 questions. But that's a whole bunch of bullshit. We're going to do the complete version at 128. We're going to do the full fat complete version at 128. We're not doing any 2-minute test. You know, we are going full fat, whatever this is. Okay. All right, so we have a slider with 2 adjectives, and we're going to select somewhere in between. We're doing a big 5 personality test. That's okay. We're doing a big 5 personality test. That's okay. All right. Mainstream versus arcane. Well, let's look up a precise definition of arcane. Understood by few, mysterious, or secret. Can a person be arcane? Experts in field also accept arcane as eccentric. Something arcane is known by only a few people. So I guess the degree to which you are mainstream versus not, I suppose, is the question they're asking me. How mainstream versus not am I? Well, I think I'm less mainstream than not. So I'm going to say that, but I don't know that I'm like deep into the total mysteries of whatever. So I don't know. Let's say 2/3. Let's say 65%. That sounds good. Let's go with that. Use the slider to indicate where you fall on the spectrum, normal versus weird. So basically, this is the same question asking me twice. So they're going to ask me the same question a whole bunch of times. Ideally, they don't want to ask me the same question a whole bunch of times in a row like this. They want to mix it up. Because one of the things you do in a big 5 personality test is you ask like the same question a whole bunch of different ways so it averages out. But ideally, you don't want to put them right next to each other because it will like jade the answers. All right, but like, okay, the degree to which I am normal versus weird. I guess I'll say I am slightly more weird than normal. Quiet versus loud. So this is extroversion versus introversion. which I know from my tests I've done in the past, I lean slightly more introverted. But nevertheless, the way the question is phrased, we'll do it the way the question asks. Loud versus quiet. Well, I do have a stream and all that stuff, but I will say that. But at the same time, like it depends on the venue. Like I'm a lot more comfortable here on YouTube than like a lot of environments in the real world. So like in the real world, I can be a little bit shyer, which is very true for introverts, right? And you see this like a lot too with actors, because actors can be very introverted. So they're very comfortable on stage or very comfortable on film, but they're not comfortable in the real world. So with that in that sense, I'm going to say that I'm slightly more quiet. I'm going to say 60-40 to quiet. All right. I have done the Jordan Peterson personality test. I have done that test too. I've done his Big Five test. I can tell you that on his test, I scored 0th percentile for agreeableness. 0. I am the most disagreeable person in the room. Sounds about right. Dominant versus submissive. I'd say I'm slightly more dominant than submissive. I'll say 60%. But again, it depends on context a lot. Loyal versus traitorous. No, I'm pretty loyal. I'm pretty loyal to my friends. I'm pretty loyal to principles. I'd say I'm a very loyal person. So I'll say 85% that I'm loyal. That sounds about right. Reasoned versus instinctual. Definitely more reasoned. 90% reasoned. Selfish versus altruistic. I'd say I'm more selfish than altruistic. I think about, so I think, let's say 70%. Quarrelsome versus warm. Just take that way up here, like, let's go to 95 for quarrelsome. Sounds about right. It's a silly test. You can't be expected to judge yourself fairly. Well, Jacob, as you may know from the Jordan Peterson test, the whole idea is like you ask these questions like a whole bunch of different ways, and that the idea is that like any bias in any particular one should come out the right way in the end. So, competitive versus cooperative. I'm more competitive by nature, but not. So I'll say 65% cooperative or competitive. Straightforward versus cryptic. I think I'm pretty straightforward. I think I'm pretty on my face about things. I don't hide the ball a lot. I'm pretty brush in my personality, so I will say 85%. Focused on the present or focused on the future? I'll leave it at 50%. I don't. Slovenly or stylish? Well, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Am I stylish? To comb my hair and shaved and wear a nice little yellow polo, right? Got some gel in my hair, right? Feeling pretty stylish today. Pretty fly for a white guy, if I don't say so myself. So I will say that I'm more stylish. 55% style? Unicorn, really? Wow. Unicorn's a critic. You want to see my shoes? Well, okay. Okay, hold on. Let's do the full thing here. Okay, hold on. All right. The yellow shirt. What's wrong with yellow? Okay, so I got I got just jeans on today, and I'll take off my shoe for you so that you can see it because it won't really show up in frame. But this is what I'm wearing. Doc Martin Oxford. Oxblood red shoe. It's one of the shoe I'm wearing right now. What do we think? Stylish? We're not a fan of the yellow shirt. We don't like yellow. Yeah. You guys are tough critics. All right, we don't like. All right, 60%. No print under a shirt with you. No print under a shirt. What do you mean, like that? I'm not wearing an undershirt? Doc Martin is not style. I think it's a lovely good. It's a blood. It's a blood ox. Oxford. What's not to like? Jealous or some word I can't even pronounce. Let's look at this word. Compersion. The feeling of vicarious joy associated with seeing one's sexual or romantic partner having sexual or romantic relation that brings them joy. So you're a cuck, basically. Okay, well, in that case, I would be extremely jealous. In this definition, I am extremely jealous. Yeah. Extremely jealous in this definition, yes. I just go all the way. Fuck it. Serious and bold. Those are I don't know what the difference between those in this context are. What's the difference between serious and bold? I guess serious can imply reserve, but not necessarily. So I'll just leave it neutral. Playful or shy? Shy. I'm so shy, dreadfully shy. Shy. I'm so shy, I'm dreadfully shy. Let's go with about 70% shy. Rich or poor? This is just a straight financial thing? I mean, it depends, like, on what sort of. I mean, we're just talking straight finances. It's a very. I'm just gonna leave it neutral. I don't understand this question. I'm just gonna leave it. Flexible or rigid? I'd say I'm more rigid than flexible. I'd say I've gone better over the years, but 80%. Modest versus flamboyant. I am not flamboyant. I am not flamboyant. No. Sad versus happy. Well, that's deep. But this question is asking about narcissism, right? We understand the question behind the question. It's asking how narcissistic are you. But on balance, I'd say I could really use a woman badly in my life. But other than that, I'm pretty happy. Democratic versus authoritarian. Well, say about 90. Maybe a little less than that. Maybe 80. Yeah, that's probably about right. 80% Democratic, 20% authoritarian. On the political compass test, last time I did it, I was like 2 or 3 steps into the libertarian on like a +10 to -10 scale. But like pure democracy, mob rule has problems, and obviously authoritarianism has problems. So I think the system of government we have is pretty good, which is kind of Republican, which is more the Republican form of government is more authoritarian than a democratic form of government, right? So, I think that this balance is probably about right. Yeah, I think this balance is about right. Charming versus trusting. I don't understand this question. Charming versus trusting. How are those like contradictory? Can you be both charming and trusting? I mean, those are two different things, right? I'm so charming, oh, so charming. And so I'll just leave it in the middle. Remote versus involved. I'd say I'm more remote. Lustful versus chase. I will say 60%. Cheery versus sorrowful. Only I'll leave it in the middle. Charming versus awkward. I think I'm more awkward. 85%. Calm versus anxious. All things being considered, I'm relatively calm. Unless there's a pretty girl nearby, in which case I'm immediately anxious. But yeah, I say calm. It's a demeanor for my for my profession. I'm relatively calm most of the time. Scheduled versus spontaneous. That's tough. I'm not as scheduled as a lot of people would probably imagine. So I'll just say 55. Bossy versus meek. Yeah, I'm definitely more bossy. 90%. I have an opinion. Well, I'm in Austin, so Dallas is slightly less helpful, but sure. I think it's a 2-hour drive from where I am, so sure. If you want to hook me up, that will be fine. Attractive versus repulsive. I don't know. I like to think I'm reasonably attractive. I like to think I'm reasonably attractive. Not repelling anybody. My teeth are straight. They're white. You know? I got a smile. I got a good personality. I'm fun. Not necessarily fun at parties, but fun. I'd like to think I'm more attractive, so let's say I'm more attractive. Let's say I'm 65% attractive. That sounds good. Well, great, Jacob. If you know a lot of people in Austin, if those people are female, have them give me a call. Have them give me a call. Tell them that I have steady employment, which in this time is more of a selling point than it would normally be. Or maybe don't tell them that, because I'm not necessarily looking for good gold diggers. I will take you out for fine dining, not so much, but I will cook for you. I will cook for you, and I've got some wine, so and I've got a nice little table that we can sit at back here. See, got a nice little table here we can sit at. You know, I got the wine rack over there with some bourbon and stuff. I can put on some little music. It's not so bad. Sarcastic versus genuine. I don't like the way this is phrased, because like in a lot of ways I'm sarcastic and genuine at the same time. I'd say I'm more genuine than sarcastic. I'll say 60-40 to genuine. Curious versus apathetic. I don't know. I'm pretty curious, not for least of reasons that's exemplified by this channel and my curiosity on looking at different fields of law. You know, as you probably have noticed, I read like all the legal opinions from every field of law, pretty much, except patent law, because I already know patent law pretty much cold, and I don't like talking about it because it's my profession, and you guys will irritate me with every word you say, no matter what it is. Even if you agree with me, you'll irritate me. So I'll just decide not to cover patent law on my channel because, like, there's nothing you can say that will irritate me. But, you know, except for that, I read everything because it's like I want to know all the things about every field of law. I want to be endlessly educated. And it's like, I find it all fascinating and wonderful. So, yeah. So I'd say I'm definitely more curious than apathetic. Say 80%. Sounds about right. Arrogant versus humble. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys. What do you think on an arrogant versus humble meter? Do you guys think I'm an arrogant, or do you think I'm humble? Now, I'd like you guys to factor in as you're calculating this that, like, I say I don't know quite a lot, and I also couch things in more cautionary terms sometimes. Like, I don't know if anyone was watching the Vic Mignogna stream yesterday, for example, but, like, you know, I was humble enough to say, like, okay, there's some things here but I'm also strong enough to give an opinion. So, like, what do you guys think? On an arrogant to humble scale, what do you guys think? What age range am I looking for? Well, seeing as I'm 39, I would look for probably late 20s to mid 30s would be basically what I'm looking for. Yeah, late 20s to mid 30s. Basically what range I'm looking for. College educated, so they have a college degree would be nice. Humble-ish, I'm gonna say 60%. Lewd or tasteful? Skip that question. Unlucky or fortunate? Well, seeing at this particular moment in time, since I am employed and there is no end of that in sight, and given the fact that unemployment is looking like it's going to be like 30% or whatever, and I look like I'm very insulated from that, and I was able to pay my rent, and a lot of other people are not able to pay their rent, you know, I feel pretty lucky. At this moment, I feel pretty lucky. I feel pretty fortunate. I have gratitude. Ferocious versus pacifist. I'll say 65 ferocious. Forgiving or vengeful? Hmm. Hmm. Um, I'm more forgiving. I'll say 55% forgiving. Let's go with that. Gregarious or private? I'm more private. Libertarian or socialist? Well, Jesus Christ. No, I'm libertarian by that definition. Yeah, 95.5 sounds about right. Emotional or logical? I'm definitely much more of a logical person. Although, as people get to know me, my emotional side comes out a lot. It's interesting because like the number one trait that people like describe me when they first meet me as, and I know because like people say like after they've met me and like get to know me a little bit better, but they'll say like that you're just very serious is what they say. That you're not very emotional. You're just very sort of cut off from everybody. But I can be pretty, I can be especially very warm in intimate relationships. So yeah, it's like as I get to know you, my emotional side comes more and more through. But logical is definitely what dominates, especially if you don't know me very well. So I'll say 85% logical sounds about right. Tense versus relaxed. I'm probably more tense, because I'm always thinking. That's what my mom would say. My mom would say like my chief problem is that I'm always thinking all the time and it never stops and like just always thinking about everything. So yeah, I'm more tense. I don't relax as much. Even at the bar, I'm just thinking, thinking, thinking. It's like the mechanisms are always working. So yeah, and definitely tense is. Let's go with 85. I'm definitely a more tense person. Spontaneous versus deliberate. Well, even in my spontaneity, I tend to be deliberate about it. So like if I like say like right the second let's go to a bar, I'm making like a deliberate choice. So I'd say on the balance I'm more deliberate. 60%. Artistic versus scientific. Well, that's a tough question. I feel like my artistic personality is coming through a lot more. I don't know how much I've mentioned it, but for example, over the last 2 years, I've done a lot of improv comedy classes. I did like 40 weeks of classes or so in DC. I was looking forward to continuing them in Austin until the entire world shut down. But I feel like my artistic side is coming through more, and this channel, for example, is artistic in a lot of ways. It's having to learn a lot of things. Like I've had to learn editing, I've had to learn pacing, I've had to learn pronunciation and all that good stuff. And I listen back to my own material endlessly, so that I'm endlessly critical of myself. But I guess so are many artists, right? So I feel like my artistic personality has come through a lot more, and I hope it's going to come through even more. I was looking forward to, no joke, doing some like dancing classes and like, you know, all that good shit. And, then the entire world crashed on me. But I'm going to say on balance, I'm slightly more scientific, but I feel like my artistic side is definitely maturing in my later age. So that's, resigned and resistant. I'm more resistant. I'm not resigned. I and like I won't tell that story, but let's just say, yeah, let's go more resistant. Mathematical or literary? Let's ask me the same, like logical versus artistic again. But the way this is phrased, I'm more literary on this balance. I'll leave it 50-50. Extrovert, introvert. Well, you're just asking me flat out. And I'd say I'm on balance 60-40 introvert. 60% introvert is what I'd say. Open guarded. I'm definitely more guarded. I'm definitely more guarded. It takes a while for me to warm up to people and for my personality to show through. And it takes more effort. So I'd say 82%. Why not? Confident versus insecure. I'm more confident. I'm not the most confident person. I could be more confident, to be quite honest. But I'll say 75%. I'm pretty confident. I know who I am. I like who I am. I'm confident in who I am. I feel like I have a lot to offer. I feel very confident in my own knowledge and intelligence and emotionality. I feel confident in my presentation. I feel, confident enough to go out on the webs and receive criticism from people. So I'd say I'm more confident than insecure. I'd go 80%, 81%. I've just seen the headline, Jacob, in terms of Venezuela attacking the cruise ship. I don't know anything about it. I don't know why Venezuela did it. I don't know their motivation. I don't know if it was deliberate. So I don't know what happened. I just saw Venezuela attack the cruise ship, which to me makes me instantly wonder if the headline is right. Did Venezuela really attack a cruise ship, or are you clickbaiting me? And if so, why? These are questions I'd like to know. So what do I think? I have no idea yet. No idea yet. Work hard or play hard? I'll leave it in the middle. Cunning or honorable? I'm more honorable. I'm definitely more nostalgic for chivalry, for example, and more nostalgic for certain sort of decorum. A Luddite or a technophile? No, I'm definitely a technophile. 98. Yeah, I'll go a little bit less than that because there are a couple non-technical things I like. For example, I have a fountain pen. I don't always use the fountain pen, but I have one. It's not technically precise. I have some mechanical watches because I like the mechanism of it. This particular one I'm wearing isn't mechanical, but I have mechanical watches. So there's some things that I like that are not technical, and I do like some stuff that's older like that. So I'll just go 90% technical. Sounds about right. Spiritual or skeptical? I'm much more of a skeptic. Much more of a skeptic. Yeah, much more of a skeptic. Yeah. Yeah, okay, the fact that it's deliberate still doesn't tell me the question as to why. Why were they doing it? What was their motivation? Why did Venezuela do that? It doesn't tell me anything. Okay, they deliberately attacked the ship. Why? And they deliberately attacked it by ramming it, as opposed to like other mechanisms. Wise or foolish? I like to think I'm pretty wise. Mundane or extraordinary? I'll leave it in the middle. Kinky or vanilla? Let's just leave that in the middle and leave it to your imagination. Frugal or lavish? It depends. Especially when it comes to dating, I can be kind of lavish. Not for least of reasons as I really like good service. I don't really seek food quality as much as I seek service quality, which tends to be more expensive, right? So like what really makes me happy when I eat out is like service. Really good service is what makes me happy. And so I tend to be a little bit non-frugal when it comes to dating. I will take a first date to like a fancy place and order wine and like spend $150 on a meal. But that's kind of because that's what I like, you know. So depends on the context, but on balance, I'd say I'm more frugal on the whole. If I'm dating you, I will take you out to nice places because it's what I like. Political or non-political? On balance, I'd say I'm political. I'd say 90%. I'd say 95%. Yeah, I definitely have political thoughts on many, many things. Yep. Yeah. Angelic or demonic? I don't know. I never really thought about it in those terms. Angelic or demonic? I don't know. I'll leave it in the middle. Autistic or neurotypical? I think on balance, I'm more neurotypical. Debased or pure? So basically, this is asking how kinky I am again, right? Debased or pure? I'll go 60-40 debased. Depends on what context, I guess. Depends on what context, but we'll go 60-40. Tall or short? I'm 6 foot, so I'm more tall than not. So 90%, I guess. I mean, it sounds probably about right. The average American male height is what, like 5'9"? So I get all right. Dunce or genius? Well, I am in Mensa, ladies. So hey, there you go. 98%. I can tell you for a matter of fact because I've had it scored. Tiresome or interesting? Wow, geez, that's a really self-critical question. Am I tiresome or interesting? Holy shit, that's asking a lot. Wow. Wow. Am I tiresome or am I interesting? Well, presumably all of you who are here and watching me think that I'm more interesting than tiresome, or you wouldn't be here. So I'm gonna work on the fact that you are here watching me to validate the fact that I'm more interesting than tiresome. That is what I'm gonna do with. Fast or slow? I don't know what that means. Mischievous or well behaved? I'm more well behaved. I'm much more well behaved. I'm very law abiding. I'm very rule following. I'm very sort of yeah, okay. Let's just go 95. Yeah, I follow the rules. I play within the rules. And being a good lawyer, I have a lot of play within the rules. But yeah, I'm definitely on the balance, much more well behaved than mischievous. Cruel or kind? I'm definitely kind. I'm kind to people. I'm definitely kind to people. I'm not cruel to people. Metaphorical or literal? I'm more literal in personality. Hipster or basic? What a critique. What a critique. What a dichotomy this is. Hipster or basic? Woo! Woo! I don't know, guys. What do you think? One of the reasons I moved to Austin was to become more hipstery and things. I was looking forward to becoming a beatnik cowboy. That was what I was going for. I wanted to become a beatnik cowboy, but unfortunately, pandemic is interfering with my beatnik style ways, man. No beard, so basic, really? That's what defines basic? We'll go 60-40. Down to earth or head in clouds? I'm more in the earth, for sure. Although I'm working on it. I'm working on the heads and clouds things because I'd like to be more artistic. So maybe I can find myself, yeah, maybe, and to answer the earlier question, what kind of girl you're looking for, maybe I could find a girl who's more on the artistic side. Like not maybe too far on the artistic side so that we'd have some relation, but she could bring me over a little bit. So maybe someone who likes to dabble in some artistic side and has a little bit more artistic flair. Someone balances me out. And, someone who can show me some more creativity and help me explore myself in every possible sense. Yeah. So we'll go with down to earth. Heroic and villainous. I'm more heroic. Enslaved or emancipated? I could do pottery classes. I could do pottery. I would not object to this. I would not object to this. I would also not object to a basic fine art class, like how to paint level 1 or level 0 or level -1. Like, yeah, that'd be good. That'd be fun. I don't know, just to develop some skills would be interesting. My chat will always tell me I'm interesting. I'm doubtful of that, Matt. I am doubtful, but thanks anyway. Barbaric or civilized? I'm more civilized. Creative or conventional? I'm more conventional, but I'm working on it. I am working on it, but I'll say 65 conventional. Orange or purple? What the fuck is this? And also, these are both Clemson colors. This is impossible for me. This is an impossible question for me. This is impossible for me because both these are Clemson colors. Orange and purple are both colors of Clemson University. This is an abomination. Also, on a different level of interpretation. I'm also equally orange and purple. Because, as you may or may not know, in academia, different like disciplines and different studies have different colors, right? So you'll see like at graduation they'll wear like different color like sashes or different color things, like because different colors are associated with different things. Well, orange is the color of engineering. So when I graduated from undergrad, I wore orange because my degree was computer science, which is in the School of Engineering, right? And then purple is the color of law. So when I graduated law school, I wore purple because I had a law degree. So both because these are both Clemson colors and because I have degrees in both of these subjects, I must answer 50-50. Disorganized or self-disciplined? I am more self-disciplined. Did I go to Clemson? What kind of question is this, Jacob? Did I go to Clemson? No, I didn't go to Clemson, Jacob. That's why I've been talking about it for the last 5 minutes. I've never heard of Clemson before. What kind of question is this? Yes, I went to Clemson University. 99 to 04. Lord. Coordinated or clumsy? I'm more coordinated. Did I go to Clemson? Orderly or chaotic? I'm orderly. Bitter or sweet? I'm a sweet guy. I'm sweet. I've been described by my exes as sweet, sometimes in what seems to be kind of a patronizing way, but okay. Intellectual or physical? I'm more intellectual. But I'm looking to get more physical, and again, in every possible sense, if you know what I mean, the implication, so forth. Funny or humorless? I'm working on funny. I like to think I'm pretty funny. I'll go 80. I'll go 75. Sounds about right. Optimistic or pessimistic? I'm a whole lot more optimistic. 68. Aloof or obsessed? Not sure. Hard or soft? I'm hard, baby. Shy or bold? More bold. Stoic or expressive? I'm more stoic, especially when this would be a good way of describing me. When you first get to know me, I'm very stoic, very reserved. So my expression doesn't come out easily. So I think on balance, I'd have to say I'm more stoic. Devout or heathen? Depends with respect to what. But like the principles I believe in, I'm pretty devout. Like, for example, like law. I'm pretty devout to law, right? I believe in legal principles and believe in like following rules. So on the whole, I'd say I'm more devout. I wouldn't say religiously devout, but I'd say the things I believe in, I'm pretty devout to those. I'm pretty devout to my family. I'm pretty devout to the principles I believe in. I'm pretty devout to that kind of thing. So in that respect, I'd say I'm devout. I don't know if it's asking me in that respect, but let's go with that. Pronatalist or child-free? Or pronatalist? I guess pronatalist is just someone who wants to have like children. Someone who advocates or supports a high birth rate. Or child-free. That's a very difficult question to answer in the abstract. Especially when it comes to like relationships. For me, I would say that my relationship with my partner is primary. I know there are people like who want to get in relationships for the purposes of having kids, and kids are their primary relationship, to others. So like their most intimate relationship or most significant relationship maybe is to their kids, right? So there are people who like that, and I don't fault that. I think for me though, my most significant relationship would be to my significant other, which isn't to say that I wouldn't love my kids, because that's ridiculous. But it is to say that like the way I view my own personality is I view it as more loyal, or it's a more significant relationship. Now, of course, I say that not having kids. So I'm doing this in the abstract. Again, then I don't have a partner either at the moment. So I'm doing both things in the abstract. So I'm equally guessing, I guess. But yeah, on the balance, it's like for me, the relationship with a significant other is probably the more important relationship. So this is a tough question to answer in the abstract. And so for that reason, I will not. Cosmopolitan or provincial? I'll leave it in the middle. Empirical or theoretical? That's a tough one to answer too. Depends on the context. And law as such is less empirical. So I guess I'd have to say on balance, I'm slightly more theoretical than empirical. I'm not a strict rationalist. I do a lot more theoretical stuff. I'll say 65%. Methodical or astonishing? Astonishing is an opposite to methodical. I'll say 55% methodical. Indulgent or sober? Rude or respectful? A lot of people will say when they first meet me, they find me to be very rude. I think that's actually not the best description of me. I think like stoic or reserved or serious or stern is a more accurate description than rude. But some people have perceived it as rude. I don't think that's accurate. But I'm not as engaging, and some people perceive that as rudeness. I would say that I'm respectful to people. I don't, I don't, when I go, to a store or a restaurant or something like that, I'm always nice to the staff. I'm always like, try to be deferential to them. So I'd say on the balance, I'm more respectful. Let's see 90%. And I treat people well, or I treat them with respect. I treat them with respect. I think it's even better than say that I treat them well. I treat them with respect, like they're a human being. And if things are not going my way, I try not to be overly upset about it. That being said, like as I sort of alluded to, a weak point of mine is quality of service in a restaurant, because it's one of the things I really go to a restaurant for. So if I'm getting bad service, I can be a little bit. I'm not like that woman. I'm not Karen, like yelling for the manager and stuff like that. So I'm not that person. But definitely like if I'm getting a bad service, my displeasure will be noted. I think it's the good way to put it. A tip less of service is bad, I'll tell you that. Awkward or suspicious? I don't know what that means. $5 from Ricardo Ospinilla. Thank you. What do you think of the issue with the cruise ship getting attacked by a Venezuelan warship? Also some tip money. Well, someone asked me this earlier, Ricardo. I don't have enough information to offer an opinion right now. The first question is whether or not Venezuela did it deliberately. My understanding is that the argument is that they did do it deliberately. But then I'm wondering if they did deliberately, why they do it by ramming it into the ship, right? If they're going to attack a cruise ship, presumably they would do it by not ramming into it. Would not be the first option, I would think. You would have like other options to do it. So like, first question for me is, was it deliberate? Second question is, if it was deliberate, why did they do it? Why did they do it? I need to know why. Why did they do it? What was the cruise ship doing? Or, what was their rationale? Was it the situation where the cruise ship was like being warned actively, do not approach our shores, do not, you may not enter our waters, and being informed about, they're like, no, we must enter because of all these things. And the Venezuelans were warning them. And as they got inside the territorial waters, they decided to take them out because they were violating their waters. If that's kind of what happened, then, that's on the cruise ship, so it depends. Why? What happened? I don't have enough information. Uses Use the slider to indicate where you fall on the spectrum of young to old. Well, screw you. I'm young. Screw you. If I'm forever young, fuck you. Vain or demure? I'll put it in the middle. Strict or lenient? I tend to be more strict. And thank you also for the tip money. Thank you for the $5 of super chat. You know, your support is very appreciated. Thank you. I'm more strict. I'm more strict about things. Yeah. Which again is why I need a woman to help like loosen me up and like, you know, bring me back a little bit. Direct or roundabout? I'm pretty direct. I'm pretty direct most of the time. Sickly or healthy? I'm a pretty healthy guy. You know, I've had my blood work done, you know, in case, you know, had all my blood work done. All my numbers are smack dab in the middle. You know, I have an exercise bench I use. I feel good. I feel great. Pretty good. You know, pretty healthy. Hesitant or decisive? I am definitely a person that likes to keep my options open, all things being equal. Because like if there's no penalty, then why not, right? If like you can if you can defer a decision and then you'll have more information, so you'll make a better decision. I don't know if that makes me hesitant though, because once I make a decision, I tend to be pretty decisive about it. So it depends on what frame you mean. Like, do you mean like, do I instantly make decisions? Depends on how serious the decision is. You know, the more important the decision is, the more I want to think about it. The more consequential it is, the more I want to think about it. The longer time frame I have, the more I want to think about it. So I'm hesitant in that respect, but I'm not loath to pull a trigger once I made a decision. So I guess I'll say 60% decisive. I'm hesitating on the answer. That's a good point. That is a good point. I'm hesitating on the answer. Nerd or jock? Rational or whimsical? No, I'm more rational for sure. Not a lot of people have described me using a phrase like whimsy. You know, the people have described me. I don't know that I can think of a single time that anyone has ever described me using the adjective whimsy. Moody or stable? I'm pretty stable. I'm pretty stable. Blue collar or ivory tower? I try not to let the ivory tower get to me. I try not to be that guy. I try not to be the elitist schnob looking down on everybody. But, you know, I do like higher education. You know, I do like philosophy. I do like thinking at the highest levels available. It's good stuff. Chatty or reserved? I'm more reserved. Smooth or rough? Ludicrous or sensible? I'm more sensible. Trusting or suspicious? I'm pretty trusting. I'm pretty trusting. Sometimes to my fault. But, you know, I definitely give people the benefit of the doubt. And I also fall in love too easily, which is, you know, but yeah. Outlaw or sheriff? We believe in the law over here. Yeah. Yeah. Mighty or punny? What? Refined or rugged? I'd say on balance, I'm more refined. Spicy or mild? Leave it in the middle. Innocent or worldly? I'd say more on balance, innocent probably, just because like I'm very sort of strict about following rules, following procedure, following law. You know, I've never been arrested. You know, I've never been like, so I'm pretty. I guess on balance, I'm pretty innocent. I don't have any tattoos, nor do I want any. So I'd say on balance, I'm more innocent, I guess. Brave or careful? That's a tough one. Put it in the middle. Playful or serious? Especially at first, I'm serious. But again, as you get to know me better, I become more playful. So, but at first I'm very serious. And my outward exterior, I'm very serious. Lowbrow or highbrow? I'd say I'm highbrow. I'd say I'm pretty highbrow. Diligent or lazy? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I'll put it in the middle. Impulsive or cautious? On balance, more cautious. I like to understand situations. I like to have a good hold on situations. So I'll say a little bit more cautious. 70% cautious. Biased or impartial? I'd say I'm pretty impartial, actually. Despite what the critics of my Vic Mignogna streams like to say, I think I'm pretty impartial. I think I can be a pretty objective observer. Open to new experiences or uncreative? I'd say I'm open to new experiences. Like I moved to a new city recently. That's a new experience, right? So I'm open to experiences. Politically correct or edgy? I don't believe in political correctness as a concept. So no politically correct SJWs, please. It won't work out between us. If you're looking for a simp or a cuck, I am not your man. High tech, low tech. Again, high tech. Masculine, feminine. On balance, I'd say I'm much more masculine. Let's say 98%. Yeah, I'd say 90%. You've completed the test. Would you like to answer a few questions and make it optional? Yes, I will do your optional survey to help you. Yes, I'll do your optional survey. Thank you for agreeing to do the optional survey. You're welcome. Select any works of fitness from characters you know enough to confidently rate them. Okay. Breaking Bad, Dark Knight, Star Wars, Fight Club, Lion King, Stargate SG-1. Okay, I can rate these ones. Where does he feel in the spectrum? Philosophical or real? More real. Where's Janet Fraser falling? She's coordinated. She's very coordinated. Samantha Cardin, devout or heathen? She's very loyal to the principles she believes in, so I'd say she's devout in that context. Jack O'Neill, authoritarian or democratic? He's more authoritarian, but he does it with a charming way, so that's fine. Janet Fraser, sporty or bookish? She's bookish. Jack O'Neill, open to new experiences or uncreative. He put his head once into an unknown thing and downloaded all of the knowledge of the entire universe. So I think that qualifies as open to experience. And then on a different episode, he did it deliberately. So I'd say that's open to experience. Daniel Jackson, I hate this character. I hate him. I find him an asshole. Is he unlucky or fortunate? He's an asshole. Is that an option that's available? No. Is he unlucky or fortunate? He's fortunate in so much as that people do not constantly shoot him all the time. Where does he fall into the category of human or animalistic? I'd say he's a pretty human character. Hammond fall on the spectrum. Vulnerable or armored? Hammond is an interesting character. He has an exterior, but he also has a vulnerable side. He's a very well-written character and very well-acted character. I like his character. I'd say on balance, he's slightly more armored. Teal, fall in the jealous versus compulsive. Oh, that would be. Is he jealous or does he mind being a cuck? I'd say he's more jealous. Daniel Jackson, where does he fall in the spectrum of remote to involved? He is annoyingly involved. Where's Teal fall on the spectrum of curious to apathetic? I'd say he's curious. Where does he fall on the spectrum of forgiving to vengeful? On balance, I think Jack O'Neill's pretty forgiving. Where does he fall on the spectrum of wild to tame? Well, he's very self-disciplined. He's very meditative. So I'd say he's tame in that respect. He also will kick your ass all day long without even breaking a sweat. So he's not tame in that respect, but he's self-disciplined. So he's not wild. So he's tame in that he's tamed himself. So I'll give that answer. Where does he fall on the spectrum of young to old? What kind of fucking question is this? He's young and he's an asshole. Where does he fall on the spectrum of cunning to honorable? He's an honorable guy. Where does Daniel Jackson fall on the spectrum of lewd to tasteful? I don't fucking know. I'll put him in the middle. Where does Janet Fraser fall on the spectrum of extrovert to introvert? She's more introverted. Where's Jack O'Neill fall on the spectrum of optimistic pessimistic? I think he's optimistic on the whole. Yeah, I think he's pretty optimistic. Where's Samantha Carter fall on the spectrum of serious versus bold? Again, what's the difference between serious and bold? She's both serious and bold. What kind of question is this? Where does Hammond fall on the spectrum of political versus non-political? On the balance, he is non-political. On balance. His job requires political machinations, much to his annoyance, but on balance, he's non-political. Where does Samantha fall on the spectrum of assertive to passive? She's more assertive. She's about here. Where's Tick fall on the spectrum of hipster to basic? I don't know. Where's Janet Fraser fall on the spectrum of sheltered versus street smart? She's more sheltered, but she's not completely. Yeah. Where's Hammond fall on the spectrum of family first versus work first? I mean, the only context we ever see him really is at work. I mean, with minor exceptions. But, we do hear enough to know that he cares about his family. And, I remember one episode where Jack O'Neill said, you might want to hit 1 on the speed dial, on your speed dial. And say, you might want to hit 1 on the speed dial. And he said, I should call my daughter? It says, okay, 2 then. I think the president would want to know, blah, blah, blah. So the joke there was that 1 on his speed dial was his family, not the president, which is pretty hilarious. But I'd say he's pretty balanced. Sam Carter is logical. Daniel judge from cooperative or competitive? He's an asshole. Where's Janet Fraser fall on the spectrum of brave to careful? She's both at the same time. She's both brave and careful. We've definitely seen situations where she's brave and careful. What you would expect from her character. She's a medical professional in a very tense environment, so she's both brave and careful. Where's Carter fall on the spectrum of refined to rugged? Everything we've ever seen from her is pretty rugged. She's a well-trained scientist. She's book smart. But, she doesn't really seem to do refined. Yeah, she's more, okay. Where is Hammond fall on the spectrum of confident and insecure? He's very confident. How much of Stargate 1 have you watched? I've watched all of it. What's the most recent that you've watched it? Probably sometime this year. What is my age? 39. Is English your native language? Yes. What is your gender? Male. What is your current occupation? Attorney. Can we use your answers for research? Yes, sure, why not? I did my best, yes. Hermione Granger. 80% match. Okay, I'm Hermione Granger. Okay. I think I'm complimented by that. All right. Very good. I'm Hermione Granger. Lingardium Leviosa, bitches. Lingardium Leviosa. Oh, yeah. Let's see what we got. All right. Amy Fowler from Big Bang Theory. I'm not familiar with the show, but I know she's one of the scientist characters. Haven't watched Sex and the City, so I have no idea. Haven't watched The Wire. Linda Warner. Is she that, yeah, she's one of the autopsy people, right? Yeah, okay, I see that. Dana Scully, okay. Samantha Carter, 77%. Sure. Miranda McGonagall from Harry Potter, sure. Alan Grant, Janet Fraser, sure. Charlie Young, I see a little Charlie Young in me. We come down together very different politically, but our personalities are very similar. I see that. Lisa Simpson. I definitely see some of Lisa Simpson in myself. Yes. Lucius Fox from Dark Knight. Yeah, that sounds about right. Leo McGarry. Love Leo McGarry's character. Benjamin Sisko, 74%. I will take that all day long. I like Benjamin Sisko's character quite a lot. Let's see what else we got. Teal'c, 74. And Hammond, 74. Okay. Odo, 73. Don't really like Odo's character. Nah, I don't. Yeah. Sheldon Cooper. I haven't watched a lot of Big Bang Theory, but given what I know, no, not so much. Let's see. Alfred Pennyworth, 72. Okay. Olivia Benson, 72. Olivia Benson, I can see that. Sam Seaborn, I can see that. Trinity from The Matrix. Yeah. Julian Bashir from Star Trek. Miles O'Brien. Worf. Gus Fring. A little bit, yeah. Morpheus. Gandalf. Neo. Let's go the other way. Let's see who I'm least like. Let's go all the way to the bottom. See who I'm least like. Barney Gumble. Well, thank God for that, man. Jesus Christ. Gollum, yeah. Krusty the Clown, Homer Simpson, Moni Mortal. Thank God. I don't want to be like any of these fucking people. Jesus Christ. Marla Singer from Fight Club. No, definitely not. Who else we got here? Jesse Pinkman. No, definitely not. Mo Zizlak. No, yeah, no. I think Mo and I would kind of get along, but yeah, we're definitely not the same personality. Jack Sparrow. He's definitely more eccentric and more like free spirited than me, so I'll concede that point. Bart Simpson, much more rebellious than me. Phoebe from Friends. Given what I know about her character, I'd have to agree we're not very much alike. Yeah. Let's see. Who else? Juliet from Romeo and Juliet. Yes, I'm not like Juliet from Romeo and Juliet. I would agree. The Joker, yeah, I'm not that chaotic. Ron Weasley. Yeah, I don't like Ron Weasley. And it's also like the reason why like I don't see Hermione and Ron really getting together. You know, it's like their personalities are too strange. It's like, I don't really see that personally. Dobby, no, definitely not. Rita Skeeter from Harry Potter, nope. Let's see. All right, cool. Well, we've learned a lot about me, haven't we? We have learned a lot about me. So, we have learned that I'm most like Hermione Granger, Amy Fowler, Miranda Hobbs, Cedric Danzels, and Melinda Warner. With a little bit of Sam Carter and Marina McGonagall thrown in. Cool. Yeah, cool. We did pretty well. Yeah. All right. So that was pretty interesting. Okay. So now we have determined that I am 80% the same person as Hermione Granger. You know? I can live with that. I can live with that. I can live with that. Let's see if I can share this online or something. I'm just going to print this to PDF. So that way I'll have it later if I need it. There we go. I'll print that to PDF. Cool. There's different algorithms. Mean difference? What is the difference between that and mean difference? Well, it still says Hermione Granger, but now it's only 65% that way. So I guess like looking at all different characters. Cool. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this little stream. Thank you for the super chat revenue. It really mattered. Someone else gave me a super chat for $30. Thank you. Intellectual Iconoclasm gave me a $30 thing. Nice icon, Keck flag, very interesting choice. And that looks like a pride flag in the upper right, left corner. You're just trying to confuse everyone with that icon, aren't you? Intellectual Iconoclasm with $30 says, this is due a breakdown of Kent Harvard's case and incarceration. Well, Intellectual Iconoclasm, I have said that I will do, for $20, I will do review of any particular decision of a court. So, if there's a particular decision you want me to review, then I will be happy to. If there's a particular opinion from a particular court of that, I'll be happy to. But to do a complete breakdown of the complete case and complete incarceration, that's asking too much because that'd be a very detailed thing. But if there's a particular opinion, like the district court opinion or a court of appeals decision or something like that, you want me to review, I will be more than happy to cover that for that price. And I appreciate the super chat support. So let me know if there is. And I will do that. Let's see. So he was convicted, right? So presumably there's a district court decision. So if you like, I will cover a district court decision, assuming there is one. If he was just convicted in a criminal trial, there might not necessarily be. There might be a court of appeals decision. Let's see. And also, he has been convicted of many, many things, apparently. Legal problems, federal civil tax matters, federal criminal matters, sentencing, imprisonment. Yeah. So if you want me to cover, try to find a court of appeals decision, I can do that. Otherwise, let me know, and I'll be happy to cover it for you. Yeah. Just let me know, because ask me to undo an entire, or to select an entire case is too much. But if there's a particular opinion from the district court or a particular opinion from the court of appeals, just feel free to message me on Facebook or something with the appropriate link and say, hi, I'm an Intellectual Iconoclasm. I'd like or leave a comment. Actually, just do that. Just leave a comment in this video after the thing posts, and I'll look at it. And so, just let me know what you want me to review in terms of particular opinion, particular decision from a court. I'll be happy to review it. And thank you for the super chat. It really helps us grow, and I really, really appreciate it. And I'm also happy that I saw it before it ended the stream, because I almost ended the stream before I saw the thing. So I'm happy that happened. Anyways, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like, as always. And until later, my friends, cheers. Goodbye.